I watched the movie the other night. I had a blast watching it, and especially watching you. I got to say, I'm someone who loved Claus. I love seeing you kind of do something that's on the comedy side. I'm just
Yeah,
curious for you, how much fun is it for you to really get to flex those muscles more? Because I think people see you from more serious roles like a
yeah.
Breaking Bad.
It was so much fun, and one of the main reasons I did the movies because I'm always looking to try to find some comedy to offset the serious stuff I do, and it was just it was a magical set. We had such great time offset. Lisa Kudrow and Parker Posey and I all had shared a house, and Edie
Oh,
Falco
wow.
was real close to us, and the boys would come over, and we would have movie nights and game nights and eat out and cook out, and we just all bonded like immediately. It was incredible, and I think all that we would do like improv stuff that we ran. We just sit around the porch and someone would come, and we just do all crazy stuff. And I think all that chemistry from off camera came into the movie, and it just made it just a delight to shoot it.
How were they as roomies?
They were great. We each had our own separate space. But I always felt like I had mom not too far from me. So kind
I'm curious for you, do you feel like when it comes to the roles you're offered, are they more serious? Are you starting to get more comedy ones now?
I hope I get more comedy ones. I did
Yeah.
a short-lived show for Chuck Lorre 2 years ago for a couple of seasons, which was a comedy, which I'd never done before, a sitcom.
Mhm.
And of course, Claus, I thought for me was a comedy, although there was
Yes.
moments of very serious stuff. But
Of
uh,
course.
I I hope I get more. I hope people see this and like it and go, oh, he could play those roles because I'd love to do
I
more
know.
comedy.
Well, you're great, man. And I gotta say, I'm sure, everyone can kind of relate to the story at the center of this. A couple meeting parents for the first time, parents meeting their
Yeah.
kids' significant other for the first time. I'm curious, do you have any meet the parent horror stories you're able to share on either side of the spectrum, I guess? Because I know you have kids that are older now too.
Yeah, not yet. I'm looking. Well, pretty soon, I imagine we'll start having those conversations. But in my own life, there was nothing like that. But it is always hard. It's hard enough for two people to get married, but of course, you're really marrying two families.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be tension and difficulties and that kind of stuff. And I think that was really fun part of this movie that we kind of find the humor in that uncomfortable situation. It's always going to be awkward, right? When you first meet
Yeah.
someone, especially when you're meeting someone in those conditions. So, especially when you meet someone in those conditions and the father-in-law becomes possessed by a 400-year-old poltergeist. That
Yeah,
really
what are you
makes it.
gonna
That really makes it.
do?
That really makes it tougher.
And speaking of the father-in-law who gets possessed, Brian Cox also kind of has the reputation as being more gruff, especially coming off Succession. What was it like seeing him doing some of the totally insane things he does in this movie?
It was just amazing. I'm a huge fan of Succession, huge fan of him, and that he had, he just jumped in, man. Feet first, man. He was boom, and willing to, go naked in a scene, and say the stuff he said was just. It was awesome, man. He's such a pro. I loved him. We had many drinks together, and he's funny. And his book came out at that time, and I just talked about. He had some great stories of, because he's been around so long, and it was
Oh
just it was
yeah.
just amazing to hear him talk and have a few cocktails with him, and I loved him, and I thought he was, like I said, courageous and just willing to give it his all, in a
He
completely
sure
different kind
did.
of thing. Yeah, I did.
I will say, like I said, I love both of you guys in this.